Hi, friend. How are you? I hope you're having a great day. And today I'm going to talk to you about victim mentality. I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened to me back in 2015. I was going through my divorce and I had been kicked out of my mom's house and told, if you do this, we're not going to help you. We're not going to be there for you. If you need anything, too bad. Um, my mom let me know that if I wanted a divorce, I needed to, GTFO. So I moved out on my own and I went through a lot of different hard things. And one of the things that I was going through was that I was constantly tired, constantly drained. The mornings were really hard. I was barely able to get up to take my kids to school and barely making it back home and falling asleep again for 2 to 3 hours. And I went to my house doctor, my family doctor, and she told me during the conversation, well, yeah, that's your new normal. I've talked about this before, but more in the perspective of how to get your energy back. And at that time, I had a friend that I hadn't been in touch with for a while, and she messaged me, and she needed something. And I promised I would do it, and then the day came and the day went, and I didn't message her. I didn't talk to her at all. I didn't tell her anything. I disappeared on her. And when she messaged me a couple of days later, she was very straight with me. She was like, you said you were going to do it, and you didn't show up. And I started telling her, yeah, but this, but that, and I'm not okay, blah, blah, blah. And I tried, in my mind, I just didn't make it. I'm sorry, I'm sick, I'm not feeling well. She said something that really, really insulted me at the time, but even though it did insult me, ultimately I started to look at myself more clearly. And every time on that journey, I looked back and I went, she was right. Because she basically it came down to this. Sure, why not? It's that you're sick. Not that you didn't actually make a plan to make sure that you did what you said you were going to do. Sure, it's just because you're having emotional problems because of your divorce, because your husband was so horrible, blah, 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 blah. Stop giving other people the blame for your problems and being a victim. I ain't taking that. You said you were going to do it and you didn't turn out. Okay? Now, I remember that at the time I was very emotional, very victim-minded. My mentality was very victim. So I was insulted. I was upset. And I immediately blocked her and I deleted her and I stopped talking to her like for 2 years. Yeah, I did that. I ghosted on her. But then again, I didn't really know her very well. That was my excuse. But at the time when it happened, I just thought, I felt bad that I didn't make it. I did. And she was right. I didn't plan well. And she was right. I should have said, I can't because I'm not well. But I took on the responsibility. And this is really what victim mentality is all about. Victim mentality is not taking responsibility. Bottom line is that you are in charge of your life. You are in charge of your planning. You are in charge of everything. Even if you think that your health is out of your control, which, by the way, it is not. But if you think that, that's what's going to happen. So even then, it's still your responsibility. And I shared yesterday a little bit about my background because I was raised in a cult. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. We have systemic indoctrination as children to believe that the world is ending and no one is our friend. No one means well for us and the world is evil. The world is in Satan's hand. Everything that comes from, science, medicine, media, technology, all of it is evil. All of it is from Satan, really. This is taught to you since you're a tiny little tyke. So a 2-year-old would be knocking at your door. If they can talk, they'll tell you, Armageddon is coming and you're going to die. There's even a book that was released about Jehovah's Witness telling their story. And she goes, I am saved. I'm perfect. You're doomed. That's the mindset that was indoctrinated into us. So when people do things or things go wrong, we tend to blame the world. We tend to blame everything around us. So I was extremely in that victim mindset. In fact, if I look back on many decisions I've made, to be very honest, I've been a victim mindset myself in many ways. It's taken a lot of challenges in the present to own up to the fact that they have been things I did to create my situations. But, that's a process, right? It's a process. So, victim mindset is blaming other people, putting responsibility on other people. That isn't theirs, by the way. It's not their responsibility. Now, that's the thing. We need to know. Are you putting responsibility on people that is not theirs to carry? Like, be honest. I say that because yesterday I had to call someone out, flat out in their faces, and tell them, pick yourself off my lawn and move on. Go away. Go away, go away, go away. Because this person is also like me, also an ex-Jehovah's Witness. He was in for 50 years. And he likes to draw attention to himself. He wants people to call him up. He wants people to talk to him. He wants people to email him. He's very needy. And I'm sorry if that sounds like judgment, but it's just what's coming out of this person. He writes on my post, "You abandoned me. I'm glad," she said, "I'm thankful for the times you were there for me, but you abandoned me." And I'm like, bro, I've been through a ton of things. You don't even know me. You have my email. I haven't heard from you, but I don't have a problem with that because, every man and woman has to carry their own load. It's just, your body is yours to carry. You're supposed to carry it. You walk around with it. It's nobody else's responsibility. So if there's things happening in your life that you need to be responsible for, you're going to be responsible for them, period. I don't have an issue with people not checking in or people not writing me cards or, not even like going like, "Oh, wow, how hard." It's my responsibility. It's my life. I have a hard time with it. Yeah. I deal with it. Yes. And if I share with you, maybe it's for encouraging somebody else, but I'm not looking for somebody to go, "Oh, poor Beth, let's send her food and money and stamps," whatever. I don't do things for that. But this particular person started by demanding compensation. You owe me, basically, attention. You owe me your time. And I was like, whoa, no. Did I give birth to you that I am responsible for your emotions? No. For your food? No. For your finances? No. And I think that there's a lot of grown-ups walking around like that. In fact, I used to have problems with people. I've had problems with people in the past, conflicts that came up, because I voiced my opinion and they demanded that I write it in a way that they feel comfortable with. Wait. I have my opinion, but they demand that I say it in a way that they're comfortable with. Now, wait a minute. How you perceive something that somebody else says is your responsibility. That's also victim mentality because, "Oh my God, you triggered me." No one made you do anything. You're not a button, okay? You are not a machine that people press buttons and put in code and something happens. You are in charge. This example that I saw flying around on Facebook, or I don't know where I saw it, but anyways, it was a meme. If someone brings you a box and inside there's a dead bird and they put it on the table to give to you, is it yours to pick up? No. You do not have to pick up that box with a dead bird and open it. You do not have to. You can totally walk away from that situation and go like, and if it's in your house, you could tell the person to get the hell out with their box. Most of the time, people don't do that in your house. So what's happening with you in your life and in your body, they can't shove it in there. There's a difference, though, when there's violence involved. Yes, definitely, Kim. Never do anyone else's bidding. That's something that took a lot of time for me to realize that I didn't understand because of the cult training and cult indoctrination, obedience and obeying, which is a big, huge word in our cult. There are songs. There are songs for children designed to indoctrinate them to listen, obey, and be blessed. relaxed, okay? This is an ExJW video as well, as much as normal. Because guess what? I have to learn what you guys got when you were kids. Let me say that again. I have to learn what you guys got when you were kids. Because you weren't in a cult. Hopefully, I hope for you, you weren't raised in a cult. So you have normal social skills. Normal social skills as in you trust your family. You know that you can screw up and they'll come for you. They'll come help you. You know that whatever happens, there's always a seat at the table of your family for food, for water. I don't have that. That doesn't exist in my world. I have had to learn to ask for help and accept help from people who I don't expect. Because what happens to me is that when something bad happens, I expect no one to come. Because I was taught, if you leave us, you deserve to be abandoned. And that is a training that I got as a little girl. I was 2, maybe 2. If you leave us or you disobey us or you go against us, you deserve to be abandoned. Okay? Why did it say that? Because they teach you. Moses, and the people of Israel were abandoned for 40 years in the wilderness. They were all abandoned to snakes to attack them because they were disobedient. And those teachings, they go really deep. Really deep. And it's unfortunate because what we do is we create a bunch of victims who believe they deserve to be victimized. Okay? A bunch of victims who believe they deserve to be victimized. That's why I've left Christianity entirely. Because, yes, there is a message of love. It's in there. But make no mistake about it. The vast majority of the content is condescending, oppressive, and devaluing. It devalues people. Guys, go downstairs. My kids are like, what's mommy doing? My office is upstairs. I'm like, this is the ceiling of the house. And I have like a nice little place here. Yeah, I'm going to take a little break from my heated discussion. And this, I have been using this for pain in my arm. And this is my arm that I got hurt. And I have a lot of pain actually here, and all the way up to my arm, my neck. It's terrible sometimes. It's funny because what broke is right here, inside here, and it hurts more everywhere else. And I landed right here. I can see it because it's turning blue. And my skin is peeling off because it's pretty dry. But actually, I noticed the difference because I use these hands and I wash them. I can actually wash them. I can't get this in water. There's a lot of dead skin cells. So this is what 3 weeks of dead skin looks like. And I just started putting essential oils on it because I moved, but I had forgotten to unpack things, and I didn't have hands. So I finally started, and this is how I open my bottle with one hand. And I've been putting, I'm going to put eucalyptus today for my painful, it's actually the nerves that are hurting a lot. Anyway, so just taking a little break from the context. And hey guys, I'm doing a video. Can you go in the living room?
What happens when you leave the bread bag open?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm talking to Kieran. Stay out of it. You know what happens.
Someone's getting scolded.
Bugs? No, there's no bugs. There's fleas, but they don't care about bread. What happens to bread when you leave it out in the
Whew.
open air?
Eucalyptus is very relaxing.
It doesn't rot. It gets hard and stale. Then it's
Okay,
not,
so this is Christmas spirit.
edible. It's not like it's toasted. It just gets hard like a rock.
I see. Can you
Goes
read it?
bad. Basically, it goes bad. Doesn't rot, but it goes bad. You're wasting a whole bag of bread if you leave that open.
Okay, so back to the conversation. Guys, I'm serious. Diego,
No, next time.
Diego, I'm live on a video. Can you do that downstairs? Please?
He is downstairs.
Oh, so go in the living room, all of you.
Daddy, it doesn't
Does that really help? I was using Valor first. I found the eucalyptus today. It's the first time I'm using it. It's very relaxing, so I like it. What I really need is wintergreen. Wintergreen is in this one. This is actually FDA approved, so it does help with the pain. This one does help with the pain, but I don't use it a lot because I have mostly pain in my nerves, and pain in your nerves is a different set of essential oils. So the essential oils that are good for bones and for muscles don't necessarily address pinched nerves. I have a pinched nerve in my back here from falling down, which is causing my whole arm to burn up, so to speak. So that's where I have the most pain. What's really helping me is CBD. So I don't have cannabis essential oil yet. I have a plant, so I just eat a bit of leaves, and it calms my arm completely. It completely calms it down instantly, almost instantly. I mean, if I had the essential oil, I'm sure that it would be like on site, but I'm taking it internally, so I'm just eating a little tiny bit. You know, it's legal here. Cannabis is legal in where I live, so I'm using that instead. Not smoked, but I eat it. And very little. I don't have to eat a lot. But I think maybe in a little bit I will get the essential oil because it's really helping. It's really helping more than anything. They had me test 3 different pain medications, and they all work for a very short amount of time, and then I start getting pain in my stomach, and I start getting dizzy or pukey, or they just don't help. So I had first I had diclofenac. Didn't work. I had it for 3-4 days, and the pain didn't go away. I also got ibuprofen. Ibuprofen did help at the beginning, but I would get stabbing pain in my stomach. Every time I had some ibuprofen, it would be like my stomach hurts. They say that you have to use like a coating for your stomach, but I just don't want to take more pills. I tend not to like pills that much. So last time I was at the doctor about a week ago, I think it was a week ago. No, Thursday last week, they gave me naproxen. And I think naproxen has another name, but I don't know. That one helped the first 2 days. And after the first 2 days, again, same problem. And again, my stomach problem. So I'm using natural rather than... chemical, because I haven't found something that really helps and that gets rid of the pain. Because one thing is it calms you down and it makes you sleepy, but you're still in pain. And another is that it calms down the pain. But little bits of cannabis leaf, just chew it up and eat it. That really helps. I find it very helpful, and it just helps your pain. It just calms you down. It's not it doesn't make you like wee or anything like that. It's better than smoking, I find. But yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit more here. This is rosemary. Rosemary is good for memory, but it also helps balance hormones, and I don't know what else it does for bone and thingy, but right now I just need a boost because we were talking about victim mentality, and victim mentality also goes with I find with medical choices and health choices, because we can always say, oh, I'm just gonna take whatever they have and suffer and complain. That's one thing I see a lot of people. I don't believe in using whatever you can get and whatever is available and not addressing negative consequences. Like, you don't have to take it lying down. If it doesn't work for you, try something else. And nature has a lot of awesome things. I believe a lot in plants. So like I've always used essential oils since 2013. But right now I use a lot of herbs as well, just fresh, not fresh, but dried, but herbs. So like just straight from the plant. Because if you didn't know this, essential oils are the crushed material of plants. So basically it's like the sap of leaves or trunk or bark or seeds or twigs of a plant. And so if you chew it up or drink it in tea, you are getting some of it. Are you getting all of it at its highest potency? No. Are you also getting it at its most healing? No. Because constituents, they change, they fluctuate. So you can't be sure 100% when you use just herbs how much you're using. You can't. But when you use essential oils, like the pure ones that I use, you do. Because then they are making sure that they're distilling them at a certain particular time. They do this with equipment to study it and check it and measure it and test it before they send it out. So that's why I like to use essential oils, to be sure what I'm using. Right now, short term, I'm in pain and someone had some leaves and I'm chewing the cannabis leaves for my arm. And when I mean I'm chewing a little bit, I really mean just a tiny, like 3 rice grains. It's not a lot. It's a very little bit, and maybe once or twice a day. And that is working wonders for my arm. It's really calming down the pain. I like to experiment how little I need and still get effects. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Like, my grandfather he is a doctor, and he does homeopathy and naturopathy, and he also did, for a very long time, he did, acupuncture. So I grew up around dilution, the principle of diluting. So they always give us the homeopathic treatments with dilution of this and dilution of that. If you know a little bit about homeopathics, is that you're still going to get the benefits even if you don't take a huge amount of what it is. So I use my essential oils in that particular way. Does it always work? No. Sometimes you need a lot more because your body needs more help and more support. But other than that, it's just really awesome. So Cool Azul is the one I'm using for the pain when it gets really, really bad. Because it's mostly for muscles. So, and our people with arthritis. And what I have is a pinched nerve. What I really need is called Valor. And I am very, very, very frugal with my Valor. Because it's so awesome. It really calms me down and I really love it. So I'm frugal with it. Also, I'm limited in my mobility and so I'm limited in work. So I'm very careful with what I use. But that's just me. So going back on the initial topic of this video. Victim mentality. This video was actually to call out Bobby. Because Bobby reconnected with me after me being offline, and then he started telling me, "You abandoned me." And I'm like, "Bro, I did not give birth to you. Go away. Go away." And he unfriended me immediately. Didn't say anything. He didn't reply. But I thought, let me talk about this because sometimes, thank you, Gilfred. It is painful, but, one day at a time. And, this looks very painful. It doesn't hurt there. Not at all. I can wiggle it and everything. It looks really creepy. It's like I have to do new bandages. But it looks pretty creepy. But it's just really just holding. It's holding this in a way that it doesn't move. So that the bone that really broke, which is here, can heal. And it's healing beautifully. It was awesome to look at it. The doctor, or not the doctor, the Hipsmeester said, "Wow, it's growing really beautiful," because if it heals completely, then I won't need any iron plates. So I'm going for no iron plates. I want to stay natural. So what I'm doing is I put, when I unwrap it, I put Valor on the whole arm, and there's another oil in here that helps with that. I put any oil actually, because plants if you don't know this is something I learned from a friend of mine that teaches people about essential oils as well. She taught me that essential oils respond to our intent. The frequency can adjust. Sounds woo-woo, I know, but you know what? I'm taking everything I can get. So if you have an oil and you set the intent that this is going to help with healing, it's going to help with resting, it's going to help with hormonal balance or emotional balance, or, feeling relaxed, then you put that intent, and when you put that oil, this responds to that. It responds to it because it's frequency, and our thoughts are also frequency, and it's all interconnected. I will talk more about that because, I didn't used to talk about this and think about it, but I've learned a lot, and I've seen a lot of it really happening, even in my life. Like when I decided I wasn't a victim anymore, and I wasn't gonna try to people please anymore, and things started happening and shifting. And then, it's like changing your magnetic field, which is something atoms do, and rearranging and becoming a new kind of material. So that's just pretty much really interesting, and it's based on physics, and we are made of atoms, so we work the same way even though we don't know it or believe it. So I want to wish you a really great day, and if you have any questions or any comments, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear how you're doing, and yes, I hope so too, and I'm definitely celebrating with you, Kim. It's gonna make a full recovery, and the bone is gonna heal completely and beautifully. And Friday, which is 3 days from now, my surgeon is gonna tell me, guess what? We don't need an iron plate. That's what I'm agreeing with. That is what I'm programming. That is what I'm receiving, and I'm just thankful for it. So I look forward to talking to you again, and you can also watch this video on YouTube. If you're not on my YouTube channel, I'll put a link somewhere in the description. I don't have a website yet, but I will in the future. So it's just alwaysrockyourpower.com. That's my domain. It's just down. I haven't made anything with it. If there's anything I can help you with, if there's any positive thoughts I can send your way, just send them in the video. Put a comment, and I will send positive energy your way, and I wish you well. Have a great day. Bye.